Yes. Well, I think sometimes we get waylaid waiting for perfection to arrive in our thinking and to arrive in our doing, and it keeps us from taking action.
Yeah.
So, it might be right, it might be wrong, I don't know, but I kind of come from the space of, let's just get the plan.
Yeah.
And let's just make it happen.
Let's put it on the computer, and it's right there, and let's look at it. Let's look at the colors. Let's look what this, what do you think, and you create it right as you're talking about it, and that just blows me away.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that I can go, we can be talking about something, and then I'll just pull up the screen, I'll go, and then they go like, how did you do that? Because,
that's what I did.
And
I do websites. I've created websites for years, but it's a longer process for me. And you just go boop, 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 boop,
and where it goes.
Yeah.
And I think I think what the difference is for me, Deb, is that I'm a trainer. That's my background, is workplace training. So I use all those skills that I learned delivering and facilitating to listen to the heartbeat of the person. And when you listen to the heartbeat of the person, you're not sort of running off doing your own thing.
Right.
You're connecting on a deeper level. It's the intuitive gifting, I think, to listen and to connect on that deeper level so that you get the connection straight away and you don't waste time. Mm-hmm. And different creative people work different ways. Some artists see the picture before they start.
Right.
And so they spend the time visualising, and it's all clear exactly what they're going to paint. Whereas for me, it's the other way around. I have to do to know what works.
Yeah.
I don't have the complete picture, but I have an essence of what I think's going to work, and then I work it until it works.
Right.
So I think that it's difficult to compare creative processes because they are very different.
Yeah.
But that's why people think they're getting a result very quickly. It's because I like to play. You saw me with Kath last
Hands
night.
on.
Kath's wanting to say, "Oh, but don't try that," or "Don't try that," and I'm like, just give me 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I want to manipulate it. I want to throw it down on the table and then roll it around and get my hands dirty with the medium, whatever it might be.
Right.
Because something amazing will come out of that. Yeah. And it's not what I've seen so per se. It could be, as the flyer I did for her, I already had very much in my mind what I wanted to create with that. But when it comes to some of the colouring and the design elements, to me it's like, let's play and let's see what emerges out of that. It's like writing a song. You don't know when you sit at the piano which chords you're going to do and what words you're going to do and what the structure is. Is it going to be chorus, verse, bridge, or is it going to be chorus, bridge and verse? There's so many little elements you can mix around, and that's the magic that
and quite honestly, that's one of the things that I see as one of your gifts also, is that I have met great graphic designers, for example. I have met great business coaches, for example. But it's like you do it all. I mean, you do it all. You do, you do the life coaching, the spiritual counseling, the creating of the website, the techie stuff. And then you get something created, and then you write the song behind it. It's just like, where does this girl stop? Where does her skills and her talent stop? So I just think that's one thing that really makes you different than a lot of the business people out that are in business development.
Yeah.
Because you're the creative, you're the business, you're the online, you're the geek, you're the the beauty maker. It's just amazing.
Yeah, and it's. I get where you're coming from, and probably I've said in my life, it's easy to be a jack of all, but how can I be a master of something?
Yeah.
But I think I've found my mastery. My mastering is creative people and product development.
Yeah.
That's what I master at. And I do know all of those things, and I've deliberately gone out and learnt the skills so that I would be across all of those things, so that if you came to me and you said, Hayley, I need this made, I go, in my mind, I know how that works, I know how that works, I know how that works, and whether I do it myself or I find someone to come and do aspects of that, I'm across it because I understand it.
Well, and like your
sides.
magazine publishing, I mean, you actually, I know you were working with Pam Brosman's magazine. I know you were running a real print magazine for a while and the whole thing, and just taking all of those different skills and you actually doing them, then
Yes.
you know that's now in your data bank. And
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and I think I learned early on. I was in a performing arts company. I learnt a huge life lesson. The director was married to one of the dancers in the group, and we'd go and we'd set up. There was only a team of 6 of us, and we'd go into a school and we'd set up our flats and our sound system, and there were certain things she just wouldn't do. And when you asked her, she said, "Oh, because he can do that."
yeah,
And that attitude of he can do that or she can do that, it really frustrated me, because I thought, well, what happens if he falls over and breaks his leg?
yeah,
You know, I
Yeah.
don't think you have to do everything, and there is definitely a place for masters. Masters get paid more than jack of alls.
yeah,
I learnt that early in business. If you're master in one thing, you can put your prices a lot higher. But there definitely, in my mind, is a place for having a really good understanding of the mediums that you're working with, so that you can then direct. Because it's a lot harder to say, I want this, when you don't understand that you're asking for the world.
yes, yeah.
And how hard it is, you know, and I think that's the best way to make teams, is when you understand what people are going through. You know, you understand how hard you're pushing them. I mean,
Right.
Steve Jobs, I reckon he knew
Yeah.
what he was asking his techies to do for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
But he was seeing something greater, and I want to be a visionary just like that. I want to see the vision from a high perspective.
So if I were to ask you, who would be your perfect client? If you could have,
wow.
just say 6 clients a year,
Yeah.
what would that look like?
Okay. Number one, I like working with people who have a heart for community. So my perfect client is somebody who's got their eye on their own goals, but it's got their finger on the pulse of community. So they have to have, in my mind, a sense of themselves, but also a sense of others around them. I really find it harder to work with people who are just self-focused.
Yep.
It's just a harder job.
Yep.
So number one for me is a sense of community and wanting to create something that's going to give something back to the world.
Maybe more than just the single bottom line of money, but
Yes.
the triple bottom line of,
Yes.
of community and service and
Yes.
and
Yeah, that bigger
Yeah.
destiny.
Yeah.
Definitely a bigger picture for me. And number two, obviously, that they've actually got the resource to actually make it happen. I think it's quite frustrating to have big ideas or even small ideas, but not have the capital
Right.
to actually do the work. So, and I work from the space of, if you ain't got it, then go look for it.
Right.
You know, you don't have to have resource to make something happen, but you have to have the attitude to get the resource to make something
Right.
happen.
Yeah.
So if they got, you know, someone that's got an attitude of they're going to go and get what they need to make their dream come true.
Yeah.
And number three is just that work ethic. The work ethic. I want this, and yes, here's the bits that you need to make that happen. You
Yeah.
know, I worked for a community and it was all about partnership. It was about 50-50. You know, I'd have long-term job seekers come in and I'd say to them in that first appointment, I'm going to help you 50% and you're going to help yourself 50%, and we're going to meet in the middle, and that's going to make 100% effort, because we're both going to bring something to the table. And when you do that, you empower the other person. You're not doing everything for them so they've not got a sense of accomplishment.
Right.
You actually, they have, you know, we appreciate so much more what we work for.
Well, not only that, but I think there are people that come to a business developer and say, well, that's what I'm paying you for.
Yes.
You know, I expect you to do this and this and this and this and this, and it just doesn't work that way. Well,
Yes.
it could. Maybe some people work that way, but what you're saying is you really want people that are willing to really put in the effort along with you to really create that magic.
Well, what I mean is, if we make a decision about an action plan, which is a co-created process I take people through, that they're going to actually take the action that they need to take,
Right.
you know. Because probably one of the most frustrating things for techies and people who do support roles in business is they often get asked to do stuff, but then they sit and they wait and they wait and they wait, and then the information comes in and it's not full information, it's partial information, and I don't want people who work for me to go through that kind of frustrating process. I want work to be a joy
Right.
for all of us. And if we pull our weight and do our share, then it is a joy.
Yeah.
because you're always in the creative part, not in the, oh, are we going to get there yet?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because for me, it's about kicking the goal. Because otherwise, we're just playing, aren't we? Really?
Yeah.
If we're not getting to our destination, if we're not getting the result we want, then we're just playing, really.
And you're really good about that, about saying, okay, what is it that we want to accomplish with this?
Yes, yeah, definitely. And I think the beauty of having your end point is that you can see the goal. You can, instead of going like this, zigzagging along, you know, over here with this idea and over there with that idea, you can just see the goal and you can set your sail, and you've got least amount of lack of, you know, use of your resources, whether it be your energy or your time, your vision. It's very clear, focused.
Yeah. Well, it sounds to me like you're going to have your hands full with the exact type of client that you want, because you put it out there. You know what you're looking for. You know what your skills are. So I would say to anybody out there, if this is the lady that has the skills and the gifts that you need, and you have the resources, and you sound like her perfect client, then you know, I really believe that the universe will pull you together. So how did they get a hold of you if they want to do that?
If they want to get a hold of me, they can phone me, because phoning's always good, 0402 04 0008, or they can email me. You can get me at HAYLEY@thecreaticians.com. Facebook me. I'm on Facebook.
Oh, you're all over the net.
You can find me anywhere on there. Just go and Google me and you'll find me.
And let me ask you this, because this is a worldwide world we're living in now. So you actually are in the Perth area.
Yes.
And do you prefer clients that are in the Perth area or close by, or will you work with somebody virtually?
I'll work with somebody anywhere. In fact, I've got clients in the States, I've got clients on the East Coast, and you know, as far north as the top of the Queensland, right down to the bottom.
Yep.
Look, sincerely, I'll work with anybody anywhere if they've got the right work ethic and they want to achieve the goal that they're looking for, and I fit them, because this is a two-way process. It's not just about people fitting my criteria. I want to fit their criteria as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make the point that if you're in Africa, if you're in America, wherever you are in the world, you don't just have to be in Australia to use this lady's talent. So thank you very much, Haley. Thanks for coming down and spending this time with me. And thanks to Kath, our camera person over there. And
thanks, Kath. And let's make music together.
yeah.